Hello, traders of the world. Dadas here, speaking to you from the Dadas Trading Room Discord server. Now, the Dadas Trading Room is a server on Discord, and that's my server where I stream live all my trades every day during the London session and during the American session. So if you join my Discord server, my Dadas Trading Room Discord server, you can watch me trade, and you can of course talk to me. You can interact. There is no problem, absolutely. Everybody is invited. Please join me and please interact. Okay, as far as today's trading, so another thing that I'm doing there, I make videos and I post videos. Every day I post a video about the current day or the just ended day trading. That's called the daily recap. And also, of course, I make one video in Polish and then one video in English. I also make a video on Sundays, and every second Sunday I make a video in English, and such a video usually is about 2 to 4 hours long, depends. Right? I've just started making videos in English, so this coming Sunday this will be the second video in English. There are more videos in Polish already made, so you can see them on my Discord server as well. Well, you can also join my YouTube channel, of course, and you can watch them there too. But like the Discord server is like a very nice platform where we can interact and talk or chat, voice chat or text chat. It doesn't matter. Okay. Anyways, so let's look at the DAX 30 market. That's the market that I'm trading because of the volatility and the daily ranges that this market usually makes. So this market always gives me some opportunities to make a trade, at least one or even more trades per day, depending on the situation, of course. Well, looking the white lines, the white dotted lines are the beginning of the day, and the other lines are just characteristic lines where the first one is the opening of the Frankfurt session, the second one is the opening of the London session, and this 1600 hours and 30 is the New York Stock Exchange opening hour. And there is just another characteristic hour, let's say in the middle, where the price either continues or likes to continue or turn around. I mean, of course, it's not always ideally at this moment, but yeah, but something usually happens. Anyways, so we can clearly see that the market, that the DAX 30 market basically continued overnight during the Asian session, continued the bullish rally from yesterday, and it went on all the way up to here, and then it went sideways on the opening of the Frankfurt session. It started going down, and then on the London session a little bit lower. But that was still just a pullback, and then it started going up again, and it went up all the way up until the opening of the New York session, and a little bit up. I think there were some political decisions in the USA made somewhere right there, that all of a sudden the market changed its characteristics. So the individual candle on the M15, like this one, was 92 pips. All of a sudden the next one was 170 pips, well, more or less, right? And the third one was almost 140 pips. So basically This was a complete change of the characteristic and the dynamics of the market. That's when people usually get lost, and the trader needs to understand the market and read the market. That wasn't a good situation to trade unless somebody could have predicted and entered short all the way up there. Then but basically when something like this happens, it is safer to stay away from the market, just like the big banks do, because you never know, and all of a sudden losing 50-60 pips on this kind of movements is very easy. It's very easy to get in, and then all of a sudden find yourself in deep shit. Anyways, when I came to the market today, the market was already going up from this position. Basically this measurement, this was my initial measurement, and I was pretty worried about this measurement because you see that the zone right here was 126 pips. Well, after the fact, we can see that the market actually reached that level, right? But before the fact, I was a little bit worried because I'm not basically used to taking such ranges. I'm usually the guy who takes smaller ranges, right? So I was also looking at the M5 and trying to find a different context right here, maybe a smaller context like this, fitting the shoe to the previous legs, right? So fitting the shoe to this here, and I got in long right there. Now that was a good decision actually. I got in long right there, and I put my take profit right there, and the stop loss was right there under that line. You see that the price pretty quickly reached my take profit, but I got out of it sooner because I didn't really like the price action right here. Anyways, looking at what the market was doing, during the trading, I decided to change my measurements to this level right there, right? And then I decided to get in long right here, but at this moment I got in long at 0.1 pips, and this was more. This thinking was actually from this measurement like this, right? Because then I changed the measurement and I decided that I would go get in long, right? And I put my take profit right over there, right under that level. Now initially, as you can see, the price started moving against me, but here the stop loss was initially all the way down there, so I was thinking, whatever, and I was simply waiting. When the price started going up, and I had over 60 pips right there at one moment. Well, and the price reacted very dynamically. I mean, very. It kind of stopped, and it stopped rapidly. I mean, it didn't turn around, but it stopped very rapidly after this movement. That's why I decided to get out of here, get out of the trade here. So I got out of the trade. See, I got out of the trade at a very good level. I mean, the price moved back again, so pulled back and then started going back up again. So I decided to repeat my 0.1 lot in the long position one more time. And again, I put my take profit basically at the same level as before. I thought the thinking was that the idea was that I simply finished that trade, right? Because you see, the entry price was actually better than the exit price, so I did enter at a cheaper price. But I mean, the irony of this trade is that again, it started moving up and then it kind of stopped. And in this candle, on this candle, I was making the decisions on this candle. I mean, you see that I had already moved my trading stop over here to break even plus, and now as the price was moving initially in the opposite the direction, and it wasn't showing any tendency to go up. I decided that I should get out of this trade because it's better to have 10 pips, like 13, 12, 13, 15 pips, than just perhaps 5 pips or whatever would have been left if the market would be going down for another pullback, right? Well, also the irony here is that I basically got out of this trade at the very low of that candle, and almost immediately after I had got out of this trade, the price started going up, and you can see that after a while, well, at least 5, 10, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, about 35 more minutes, and the price was at the level of my take profit. That would have been a very, very good trade if I hadn't gotten out of it. Anyways, no use crying over spilled milk, as they say, right? I mean, it's still profit. So then I was watching the price, what the price was doing, kind of changing the measurements and watching the price. Now, I was initially observing this move, this bounce right here on the M15 chart, and I saw it very clearly. I saw it very clearly that the price was right there. The price was started moving pretty quickly. Well, I was reluctant to get in because of what I said. Because right there we still don't know whether it's just a pullback on the bullish trend or whether it's already going down. So basically, there could have been such a situation that I would have gotten in right there, and the price would have gone against me, right, in the bullish direction. So I preferred to wait because the volatility of this market raised. It went up like crazy because on these candles here, the volatility was over 100 pips. On the M15, so that was the ATR. I decided to look at the ATR of 2 last candles because that gives me quicker information, right? I can see the change much quicker. And then after this movement, it was pretty obvious that they are pushing up again. However, we see that in this situation we get a pretty big consolidation like this, because basically that's the whole market, that's the whole bearish market, and what happened later is that the trading of the price was inside this market. So basically this whole thing was a consolidation. Now I tried to make another trade right there. Now I see my mistake. I mean, the mistake is that I've observed that it's not a good idea to get in on the movement of the price when the price is at the previous resistance level, because it will usually pull back again, and we have to be prepared for this pullback. Now, I don't like such situations. I mean, in such situations, I'm kind of thinking that I was already thinking that this would have been a lost trade. My initial stop loss was under this low, but I later moved it under this second low right there. Anyways, as you can see, the drawdown or the pullback or the price movement in the opposite direction was almost 50 pips. So that's not a nice thing, especially when I rarely take 50 pips, right, or more. Then basically I was pretty satisfied that the price started moving back up. But I decided to get out as soon as I will have some any profit, right? So I basically did that. You can see that the price moved up a little bit more, but then consolidated sideways and then made another pullback down, and now it's somewhere right there. You see that at the end of the day, the market died totally. I mean, at the very end of the day. So this is like 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35 again minutes. The market practically died. Now, the general situation is that the market is still more bullish than bearish. I mean, despite what people say that we have a second wave of bearish movement, of price drops, right? But I don't know. I mean, I basically I don't know. I mean, all I can do is do this. All I can do at this moment is measure out this the level of this consolidation right here, or this inside trading, right? Trading inside this bigger market. Now the only thing we can do is observe and see which way the price breaks. If the price breaks upwards, it'll most likely continue to levels like 12,500 or in the vicinity of 12,500. If it goes the other direction, then who knows? Then if it decides to go in the other direction, then we have to make a measurement like this, and basically like this, and then we can see that then perhaps we are going then down more like to 12,100, yeah, to those levels, and maybe below, who knows? Anyways, those are not predictions. Those are just options, right? This is not. I'm not doing any investment advice or anything like that. I'm just showing you my tools and the way I trade. Absolutely not telling anybody to make a trade or withhold from a trade. That's your own decision, and it's always your own decision. I don't give any signals, or like I said, I absolutely don't give any investment advice whatsoever. So yeah, so basically that's it for today. Today only what 1, 2, 3, 4 trades, again all of them successful. So it's like a third day of all successful trades. I think it's at least 12 trades in a row that are successful. Well, that's good for my statistics, right? Or it's good for the win-loss ratio. So yeah, so that's it for today. Like I always say, please please subscribe if you already haven't. Join my Discord server. All the links are below in the description. Also, if you can, become my Patreon at patreon.com/Dada's Trading System Workshop. I have a promotion for all non-Polish speakers and non-Polish residents. If you, of course, can communicate in English with me, you are sincerely invited. You can join my Patreon for as little as $5 per month, and you will be granted the VIP role on my Dada's Trading Room Discord server. And with that role, you get lots and lots of special benefits that regular users do not have access to. Okay, thanks a lot for today. Please keep safe, please keep well, and see you next time. Bye.